Good afternoon, traders, and welcome back to the Hot Stocks Outlook for April 19th, 2019. Hope you're all having an excellent week out in the financial markets, and as always, plenty of great opportunities to go ahead and cover here. We've got Marvell, we're going to take a look at SRC Energy and also Wabash National Corporation, and then we're going to look at a couple of things that we've looked at over the past several weeks. We've got Incyte here and also TG Therapeutics. So let's go ahead and start out here with Marvell. And what we have here are daily bars that you see. So these green bars are up days, red bars are the down days. So this is daily price action. And against those daily bars, you see that there is a black line and a blue line. And additionally, at the bottom of the screen, you have a green indicator, and also at the right of your screen, a predicted high and low range. And really all of these indicators, really predictive indicators, act together to create the forecast of where prices are expected to move going next. So whenever we have a situation here, we see this black line on the chart, it's important to understand what that black value represents. And what that black line is a regular or simple moving average. So we refer to it as the actual moving average, but a very common technical indicator. It just takes the last close prices, adds them all together, divides by a certain number, and you get this rolling forward number of where prices have been. But we need to know where prices are going next. And what we want to do is compare that black line to this blue value that you see on the chart. And for that blue value to be generated, VantagePoint is utilizing the technology of artificial neural networks to do what's called intermarket analysis. So it's looking at, in this case, the target market of Marvell and determining how other ETF groups, other related stocks, the S&P 500, currencies like the dollar index, how all of these other markets are known to drive and influence and affect the future price of Marvell. So when all of that information is incorporated into these indicators, it then turns a lagging regular moving average into a prediction of where prices are expected to move going next. So when that blue line there crosses above the black line, it's telling you that average prices are predicted to move higher moving forward. So you understand that, okay, well, if there's an predicted moving average, well, we can trade above and below that average. But if it's above that black line, the trend is essentially up and you want to go ahead and get long. Now, additionally, we have this indicator at the bottom, which in this example just remains green, and it actually can switch from red to green, but at its heart, it's a 48-hour indicator, so it's very short term, and it's letting you know if there's very short-term strength or weakness in the market. And we can see in this example, the market just went up every single day, and it's looking forward and saying, look, over the next 48 hours, expect more and more strength. You also see the separation between that prediction of the moving average and the actual moving average. There's a lot of separation there, and you see you get a really nice strong trend to the upside. Now, lastly, to really round out this forecast for traders and how they can use this to manage positions every day, is you've got a predicted range, a predicted high and low that's provided before each and every trading day. And this is critically important because we can see how accurate all of these predictions are against the actual market data. And you see that so far, I mean, we've been forecasting the trend to move higher. You have this excellent entry at the beginning of the trend. You see a lot of strength as the market just bats up against those predicted high values. But letting you know and letting traders know, look, you want to be long in the market, go ahead and get that position on. And as long as that blue line remains above the black line, the trend is still up. We see this market's moved up over 23% in just the past 12 trading days. But you see any time over the last month, looking at Marvell saying, look, this market's moving higher, get involved. And you see that trend really breaking out to the upside. Next here, SRC Energy. So energies have done quite well, but the stocks have sort of moved up and down over the past couple months, but you certainly want to be long as crude oil has been moving higher and higher. Here again, we have that blue line, so that predicted moving average moving above the actual moving average and letting you know that, look, prices are expected to move higher than where they've been. There's a very cheap price stock here at about $5 a share, but look to go ahead and take long positions. But of course, when you get involved in a market, there may be a different forecast, weeks down the road, and you want to go ahead and make those adjustments and adapt to those changing market conditions. And so here's really the benefit here is understanding that, okay, well, if you start your position here, understand that these are great levels to come in and add to your position. And you see how this works out where the neural index goes bearish, you get a little sideways action. But if the trend is up and there's some short-term weakness, what do you want to be doing? You want to be buying at these predicted intraday low levels. You see once that neural index, goes back up to a green, trend really resumes and you have things breaking higher. So again, really nice opportunity here in the energy space, but really all over. I mean, since the beginning of the year, crude oil pretty much moving straight up here, and you see about a 26% move from that first predicted low being hit overall, easily up 25% as this trend breaks out higher. And then another entry that we had, back here for a shorter term trader saying, okay, well, look, trend's up. Great place to get involved. Another 10% move from that point. So, typically if you've got trend on your side, you've got, you're getting in at a predicted low, you're getting a really good price level to participate in an existing trend. Here's Wabash National. So, another is a transportation company. We looked at Diana Shipping the other week. Things doing really well there. Well, same thing here, right? Crossover to the upside, neural index up at a 1. So that's your short-term forecast. But you'll sometimes get these periods where you see that neural index goes down, and what it's telling you is, expect some trading below the predicted moving average, right? We can trade above and below an average. That makes perfect sense. But still, you want to be long. And then when you're deciding, okay, well, where do I want to go ahead and get long? Well, you see at the beginning of the trend, we get our crossover saying take those long positions. See a really nice entry here, and these levels, regardless of the way that you're trading, right? You can be a day trader, a longer term trend trader, but understanding that, shoot for these profit targets to the upside. And those are going to be great levels if you want to go ahead and take a short term trade to go ahead and take those profits and readjust things for the next trading day. Overall, really nice opportunity here. Again, just the shipping in general. Diana Shipping here in Wabash, these things up easily over 10%, almost an 11-12% move to the upside there in just the past couple of weeks of trading. Now I want to go ahead and revisit, I always like to bring in a couple markets that we've been looking at over the previous weeks. And I really have highlighted that there is some market weakness out there. And this is one of the opportunities I wanted to bring in to highlight how we can find areas to go ahead and short the market with the same approach as we use the software to the upside, right? Identifying that prediction of the moving average. If we go ahead and highlight this trading day right here, is moving below the actual moving average, right? You're at 86.03, you move down to 85.70. It's a pretty big difference. You got about 30-40 cents there as far as the market moving lower from those predictions, and it's letting you know the trend is now lower. Now, you get these instances where neural index comes up to a 1 and you're getting a higher high here, right? You're trading above the predicted moving average a little bit, but the overall trend still very much to the downside, and you want to keep that strategy of saying, okay, well, where would I want to be shorting? Well, certainly at intraday predicted highs from the software are great levels to come in and short. And just over the past week here, really great levels to come in and short up at $78, $80 a share. And you see the predictions for the next trading day down at low 70s here. So really nice move to the downside here in shares of Incyte. And this is something we brought in really before the trend really got moving, but understood that this is a place where even in a pretty strong market, there's a lot of places where you want to go ahead and set some hedges, take some short positions. See market off about 12% just over the past 9 trading days, not even a couple weeks in the market, giving up a significant amount of room there. Lastly here, TG Therapeutics. So we brought this market in several weeks ago for all the same reasons you've seen here, right? We had a crossover to the upside, really explosive moves over the duration, but you see there is a lot of volatility. But what we see here is that, look, the blue line, that trend is still above that black line. It's letting you know, look, take advantage of this move and don't get out too early, right? I mean, the worst thing you can do is, get out of a market when you're up, 5% and then it continues up. Well, in this case, 100% to the upside. I mean, literally doubling of really your money invested there in about 45 trading days. But what you'll notice recently here is, okay, well, there's a 100% move to the upside. But over the last 5 days here, it said, okay, well, now make your money to the short side. So if you're going in and saying, okay, well, what do I want to do there? And I'll go ahead and zoom in on this last couple of weeks. Pretty much after that trading day right there, it's saying, look towards your predicted levels to actually short the market. Maybe sell some of your long position. I mean, it's pretty much the same thing either way, but get out of the market, short the market, cover maybe some of your position here as a shorter term trader, re-short up here, and now you're making money to the downside of the market, but really understanding that, look, the trend had shifted. That blue line, that predicted moving average is now below the actual moving average, and you no longer want to be long. Really ensuring that you capture as much profit as possible, not getting out too early, but then recognizing that, okay, well, now that things have changed, let's get out of the way, protect those profits, and even look to possibly reverse your position and make money on the downside of the market. So just some fantastic opportunities spread all throughout the market. really on both sides, to the upside, to the downside. There's a lot of mixed markets out there as far as the opportunities, and that creates a really great opportunity to create a hedged portfolio. You go long a couple stocks, go short, things like Incyte, and you're really making money on both sides of the market, and also well protected should the market start, seeing some big volatility and things start moving around pretty aggressively. So that's about it. Some really great opportunities out there, and the software performing excellently. But of course, best of luck to you traders out there in the markets. Thank you all for watching. And again, this has been our Hot Stocks Outlook for April 19th, 2019. Have a great rest of the week. Thanks again, and bye for now.